Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today I have a double challenge layout for the Scraptacular Cropping Club to use some texture paste as well as paper issues. This is their Secret Life of Pets challenge to scrapbook your pets, which is not too much of a challenge for me because you guys know I scrapbook Billy a lot. So I went straight for my next picture of Billy that's in my chronological order, which is his 7th birthday, which was last June. So I'm going to the Bloom collection. Giselle's got me in this pink and green color combo mode, so I do not apologize, but I am going back to that color scheme. I had a scrap of wood grain left, so I thought it'd be cool to kind of do this color blocked background with the wood grain and that pink gingham. So that's where I'm starting, and then I'm just going to cut a branding strip to cover that join, and that's where my photo is going to sit. So that's where I'm starting. As far as the texture paste, I'm going to use it in my favorite technique, which is just to use it through some stencils as a little bit of mixed media coming out from my photo and main layers. So you'll see that in a minute. Excuse me. That branding strip had some perforations from where the 12x12 was torn off, so I was just trimming that. And then I'm just going to be strategic and make sure that photo and the layers cover up that whole punch that's in the middle of that branding strip, but that's where my photo is going anyways, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But I do have the Bloom 12x12 and 6x6, so I was really hoping to make this a super layery page. So you see me fiddle a lot with all of these small scraps trying to find ways to incorporate them, and I just realized eventually that it didn't need to be super layery, and I was just fighting what my design was heading towards. But it takes me a while to realize that, so you'll see me mess with these scraps a lot, trying to make this super layery when it really didn't need to be. I am going to trim down this butterfly scrap to mat that photo. And that's really going to be the main mat around that picture. I am going to mat that in a scrap of black paper, but that's really my main photo layer. I keep trying to add more, but it just doesn't end up needing it. I feel like every time I tried to layer it up, it took away from the design of the page, so I pull back a little bit and I'm a lot happier with what I end up with. But I keep trying. I try for a while, so you'll see me keep trying to pull in all of those other scraps. I did cut apart the cut apart sheet from the 12x12. I do have the cut up scraps, or cut apart from the 6x6, but they're itty bitty tiny, which is great for cards and stuff or small embellishment clusters, but the scale was a little bit too small to use for what I was using here, so I'm really just sticking to the 12x12 cut aparts. I really thought about bringing in some of the black pieces, but I ended up going a different route. I stare at this page a lot this time around. I'm committing to the butterfly. I at least know that mat's going to be there, so I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. And you'll see I'm not gutting any of these papers because I have a 12x12 pad and a 6x6 pad. And Bloom is a pretty collection and all, but I don't need that much of it, so I'm okay using it up. So that's why I decided not to gut, even though I did gut the gingham that was behind that wood grain. But as far as these 6x6s, I'm not worried about it. But there I'm just matting with a teeny tiny skinny black border. I really like that. It adds some definition to the border just because that butterfly print is really light and it kind of ran into the other pattern papers. I'm also going to add a doily behind there. That always kind of adds some definition and texture behind your photo to kind of separate it from the background. And of course I have to do that with the tag. That's like my go-to layering thing, is a tag and a doily. Tag and a doily, tag and a doily. Every page. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm gonna gut my doily. I have 1,000 of those. I don't know why I gut them. I have 1,000 of those. Why do I gut doilies? I'm never gonna go through 1,000. Can't help it. I do have the scrap of that chevron, so I am going to just use that as a shelf on the bottom of this photo. I really love doing shelves too. But I like how that pulled in the colors of the kit. I was really trying to avoid the greens in the Bloom collection just because the greens in the photo are just so vibrant, and I feel like it kind of clashes with that muted green that's in the kit. But I suck it up because that was really limiting myself to not use any of the green in this kit. So it's okay. I'll live with it. But yeah, the green and some of these embellishments I feel look a little wonky with the picture, but it's okay. So I do like how those tickets, that cut apart looks at the top there. I think it helps mimic the colors in the chevron that's below the photo. So that's where my starter layers are. I needed to get that texture paste on here, so I'm just using my Ranger texture paste and putting it through that dot stencil. I love that dot stencil. Any kind of small stencil like that is always super versatile, and you can use this on every page and it'll never get old. So that's a well-loved stencil, but I'm just doing a bunch of dots around the area where my photo is going to be. I don't want it to be a huge, I don't want it to overtake the design of this page. I just want it to add that subtle detail. So when people pay attention, they get that extra dimension, that extra texture. And then I'm swapping out the string that comes on that tag to some pink twine. I have a whole bunch of pink and green twine that I hardly ever use. So when I have that pink gingham there, I figured I might as well switch it out to the pink since I have a lot of it and I need to use it. And then I did just get these stickers here for my title. I'm just using Life is Good here and the arrow. I really liked how that black plays off the black in the tag and the matte in the photo and really amps up the boldness. So I really like how that looks. And I'm doing #7 because Billy turned 7. So I didn't want it to be like happy birthday, Billy's 7th birthday, all that, because every single birthday is, I don't want it to have the same title every time. So I think #7, I'll know this is his 7th birthday. And I like that Life is Good here sentiment. This is in my backyard. And he was under this, he's laying on this bed of clover that's in a raised flower garden underneath this tree, and the tree just casts these shadows over his face, and it looks super cool because he's got this golden fur and he's on this vibrant green clover, and then he's got these shadows. I just thought it was a cool picture, so I'm happy I got it scrapped. But I'm just trying to tuck in some more layers. I'm just using a little bit more of the cut aparts to tuck in here and there. And then I took another scrap of that chevron and mimicked it up in the right corner. I just wanted that movement mirrored somewhere else so it was a little bit more balanced. I was definitely feeling there was a strange gap in that upper right hand corner, so by adding something there, I really think that helps. But it definitely needs something on top of it. So here I just am layering that happy memory as well as this little wood grain border punch. I love that Martha Stewart border punch. I got it at a garage sale for $1, and it is super cute. It punches 3 circles in 3 different sizes, and you're only going to see the bottom circle on this scallop, but it's perfect for if you ever want to punch paper into confetti, because you get all those circles and all those different sizes. But I like how that looks. Adding some black Nuvo drops, I just thought I needed a different texture and another pop of black to pull that black some other places. But after that, I think I'm pretty much done. I do add some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in black on the diagonal as well. This is a very diagonal heavy design. At first I was thinking it was going to be very vertical along that that branding strip, but that's not how it turned out. So but I'm happy with how it is. So thanks guys for watching. Bye.